Therefore, fellow Kenyans, we can end poverty, we can end unemployment today. What is required is to have political goodwill, and such goodwill lacks in our leaders today. My competitors also do not have the urge, that very, very deep push to end our sufferings and bring progress. That goodwill is only found in me. That's why I am bringing 2,000 factories, 12 million jobs, and 20,000 beds for 40 million Kenyans. Allow me first to salute and honor our 4 presidents that God gave us. President Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, His Excellency Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, His Excellency Mwai Kibaki, and our current president, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. We thank you so much for your contributions towards the development of Kenya. You remain the bedrock of our nation. Fellow Kenyans, I grew up in conditions of extreme poverty. It is a life of pain. This is why, as your president, I have made it a point and an urgent priority to end Kenya's poverty in 7 years' time. I will act, and of course, if there might be a delay, by the 10th year, we should be able to do away with poverty. I will act with haste that no Kenyan should live in poverty even one single day. I'll put poverty as a national shame and a disaster of monumental proportions, and as such a national emergency. Every Kenyan must flee poverty as quickly as possible. I've prepared a rescue flights and aeroplanes for each Kenyan to be airlifted out of poverty and into wealth. Way back in 1980, as a Form 1 student at Luhuna Secondary School in Indalo, Tongareni constituency, Bungoma County. That is Luhuna Secondary School, or what was then Luhuna Mixed Secondary School. As a student in Form 1, I stated in my heart that if poverty and problems that surrounded me and millions of Kenyans shall still be there in Kenya when I grow up, I shall seek to be the president of Kenya to end those sufferings and poverty. That time has come. I was a day scholar, walking 20 kilometers every day to school. I used to wake up at about 3-4 a.m. every day, walked barefoot. It was a difficult moment, difficult 4 years. I wasn't having any school fees. I had to go and work in farms to raise my school fees. I know the pains of being poor. It is in those pains, and when I looked all over the place in Indalo, where I was born, in Tongareni, in Tabani, and looked at the situation, it was pathetic. It's at that time, when I had been unable to go to join even that school, and I was called for boarding, but I had no money to go to boarding, I said, I'm a young man, I'm a youth. I declare this in my heart. If these sufferings I'm going through will be there when I grow up, I will have to seek for presidency, because I cannot stand to see any other youth suffering the way I suffered. I do not want to see any other Kenyan living in poverty the way I lived in poverty, and still even struggle up to this point. Fellow Kenyans, I'm coming to end that, because it's a life I have lived in, and it is deadly, deadly painful. And that's why I'll be in a hurry I will be in haste to end it within 7 years. And I will work very hard to see that it is gone and gone forever. Fellow Kenyans, I drew up my roadmap in 1980 when I was in Form 1 at Luhuna Secondary School, Form 1 West. And I remember I've sent success to students in Luhuna, and especially in Form 1 West, which is the class that I sat down and did my exam and all that. But I'm wishing all students that are sitting for the exam this year for their Form 4 success and all the best, and all those in Luhuna Secondary School. I prepared a roadmap towards the presidency. When I sat there, I decided to say, what will I do, or what should I do to get to the presidency? I drew a roadmap. First, I had to get a PhD. I was not going to seek for presidency if I don't have a PhD. That I said no. And then I had to become, number 2, become a professor. And only after that shall I seek to be the President of the Republic of Kenya. Fellow Kenyans, if you look at that, there are 3 P's. So I decided that if I have to be the president, I first have to have education up to PhD. Number 2, I have to be a professor first. Why did I decide so? It is because those 2 achievements will have equipped me with so much knowledge that I will not be misled once I become the president. Number 2, I will have known how to become the best president Kenya has ever had. Number 3, I will be skilled and have knowledge on how to end poverty, end unemployment, all these problems, end them that are there in Kenya. I will know how to make Kenya a developed country, from poverty or a third world to a developed country. I now have all those skills. I'm now ready to become the president. I did not want to choose the ways of MCA, MP, governor, CG, Senate, and Ukwe president. Being a president does not have only one route. It's not a one-way traffic. Moreover, that system of becoming an MP, a governor, a Senate, and all this, you are trained first and foremost on how to be corrupt and wasteful. That's not the training I cherish, I ever admire. You'll be taught of tricks. You go to the toilet, una demand kule pesa, shilingi 10,000. You saw them doing that. Right? So, that is the training you are talking about here. About fighting in the assemblies. That is not the best training. Fellow Kenyans, I chose a path that will be beneficial to all Kenyans. And that's a path that you will all be glad with, because I have now the tools that are needed to make me the best president Kenya has ever had.